The small town of Ravenscroft was shrouded in an eerie silence as the ominous tolling of the church bells echoed through the night. The locals whispered of an ancient curse that clung to St. Agnes Church, a looming structure with weathered stones that seemed to bear witness to centuries of unsettling secrets. Reverend Samuel Blackwood, a man of unwavering faith, arrived in Ravenscroft with a determination to bring solace to the troubled souls of the town. The moment his foot touched the grounds of St. Agnes Church, a bone-chilling wind whispered of a malevolent force that lurked within its sacred walls. As Reverend Blackwood prepared for his inaugural sermon, an otherworldly choir of voices filled the church. The haunting melody seemed to emanate from unseen depths, sending shivers down the spines of the few congregants who dared to attend. The Reverend dismissed it as an acoustic quirk, but the townsfolk exchanged nervous glances, fearing the spectral presence that manifested in the ethereal choir. Weeks passed, and the church's congregation dwindled as whispers of the curse spread through Ravenscroft. Those who attended services began to exhibit strange behavior, muttering incoherent words and bearing a haunted look in their eyes. The townsfolk believed that the curse fed on the parishioners' fears, growing stronger with each soul it ensnared. In the dimly lit confessional, townsfolk whispered forbidden secrets to Reverend Blackwood. As the confessions unfolded, the Reverend felt a malevolent presence lingering in the sacred space. Dark secrets of betrayal, guilt, and forbidden desires spilled from the lips of the confessees, intertwining with the ancient curse that gripped St. Agnes Church. As the curse tightened its grip, unholy manifestations plagued the church. Shadows danced in unholy communion during the evening services, and ghastly figures materialized in the pews. Reverend Blackwood's faith wavered as he confronted the malevolent force that seemed to revel in the fear it instilled in the hearts of the congregants. In the depths of the church's archives, Reverend Blackwood discovered cryptic scriptures that spoke of an unholy pact forged centuries ago. The curse, born from a desperate bargain, sought to claim the souls of the townsfolk as payment. The Reverend, determined to break the curse's hold, delved deeper into the forbidden knowledge hidden within the church's sacred texts. Driven by an unwavering resolve, Reverend Blackwood initiated a midnight vigil within the church. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the ancient stones as he recited ancient incantations meant to banish the curse. The air thickened with a malevolent presence, resisting the Reverend's attempts to break the unholy pact that bound St. Agnes Church. During the midnight vigil, a ghostly procession manifested in the church. Ethereal figures, clad in garments from a bygone era, paraded through the nave. Their hollow eyes bore witness to the suffering inflicted by the curse, and their mournful wails echoed through the sacred space, revealing the depth of the malevolent force that plagued St. Agnes Church. As the ghostly procession intensified, Reverend Blackwood found himself locked in an unearthly battle between faith and the malevolent force. Shadows writhed and contorted, manifesting into grotesque forms that sought to snuff out the Reverend's resolve. The ancient stones of the church absorbed the echoes of the spiritual struggle, bearing witness to a conflict that transcended the mortal realm. In the throes of the spiritual battle, Reverend Blackwood fell to his knees in desperate prayer. His words, infused with a fervent plea for divine intervention, reverberated through the haunted halls. The atmosphere crackled with a celestial energy as the Reverend called upon higher forces to break the curse and free the tormented souls ensnared by the malevolent pact. As Reverend Blackwood's prayer echoed through the church, a blinding light erupted, casting away the shadows that clung to the sacred space. The curse, shattered by the divine intervention, released its grip on St. Agnes Church. The ghostly figures of the procession dissipated, leaving behind an ethereal calm that hinted at a newfound peace within the once accursed walls. With the curse broken, Ravenscroft experienced a spiritual rebirth. The townsfolk, liberated from the malevolent force, returned to St. Agnes Church with cautious optimism. The once ominous tolling of the church bells now carried a haunting melody of redemption, signaling the dawn of a new era for the town and its sacred place of worship. In the aftermath of the supernatural ordeal, Reverend Blackwood continued to serve St. Agnes Church, forever carrying the silent legacy of the haunted battle against the curse. The townsfolk, grateful for their redemption, attended services with renewed faith, and the ominous tolling of the church bells became a reminder of the resilience that had triumphed over malevolence. Despite the apparent victory over the curse, lingering shadows persisted within the sacred walls of St. Agnes Church. Reverend Blackwood sensed a residual malevolence that defied the newfound peace. The once haunted nave echoed with spectral whispers, hinting at a force that refused to be vanquished. As midnight descended upon Ravenscroft, the church awakened with haunting whispers. The townsfolk, despite their gratitude for the apparent liberation, found sleep elusive. Midnight whispers drifted through the streets, drawing those who dared to listen back to the ethereal realm that clung to the shadows of St. Agnes Church. Reverend Blackwood delved deeper into the church's history, uncovering relics tainted by the curse's malevolence. The stained glass windows, once revered for their beauty, now held an ominous glow. The Reverend, guided by an unsettling intuition, embarked on a quest to purify the sacred artifacts that carried the weight of the church's unholy past. The townsfolk, though freed from the direct clutches of the curse, remained unsettled. Sleepless nights and restless dreams haunted the parishioners, as if the malevolent force sought a different path to torment their souls. A subtle tension lingered in the air, unraveling the fragile threads of the newfound peace. In an attempt to understand the lingering shadows, Reverend Blackwood enlisted the help of paranormal investigators. The team, armed with spectral detectors and ancient rituals, ventured into the church's crypts and hidden chambers. Unseen forces tugged at their senses, indicating that the battle against the supernatural was far from over. Paranormal investigators discovered cryptic symbols etched into the church's foundation, an arcane language that spoke of ancient pacts and unspeakable bargains. Reverend Blackwood, deciphering the symbols, realized that the curse's roots extended beyond the visible walls of St. Agnes Church. The malevolence had woven itself into the very fabric of Ravenscroft. As Reverend Blackwood lifted the veil on the cryptic symbols, an unsettling truth emerged. The curse, once confined to St. Agnes Church, had woven a sinister veil that enshrouded the entire town. The malevolent force, like a phantom puppeteer, manipulated the destinies of the townsfolk, casting a shadow over their lives. The investigators, under Reverend Blackwood's guidance, unearthed an otherworldly nexus at the heart of Ravenscroft. The malevolent force drew strength from this supernatural focal point, intertwining with the townsfolk's lives. The nexus, a spiritual epicenter, pulsed with an energy that mirrored the relentless heartbeat of the curse. Reverend Blackwood, fueled by an unwavering determination to break the sinister veil, initiated a desperate ritual within the confines of St. Agnes Church. Candles flickered as he chanted ancient incantations, calling upon divine forces to cleanse Ravenscroft of the malevolent nexus. The haunting echoes of the ritual permeated the town, stirring the dormant forces that lay hidden within its darkest corners. The ritual's intensity heightened as spectral energies surged through the town. Unseen forces clashed in an ethereal battle, shaking the foundations of St. Agnes Church. The townsfolk, unwitting participants in the spiritual struggle, felt the spectral currents weaving through their lives, unraveling the malevolent influence that had held them captive. As the ritual reached its climax, Reverend Blackwood experienced a haunting vision. An apparition materialized before him, revealing the tortured souls bound by the malevolent force. The vision served as a grim reminder of the stakes at hand. The salvation of Ravenscroft hinged on the Reverend's ability to sever the sinister veil that gripped the town. In the midst of the spectral struggle, a divine intervention unfolded. A celestial radiance, manifesting as a luminous figure, descended upon St. Agnes Church. The divine presence interwove with Reverend Blackwood's ritual, creating a powerful synergy that threatened to rupture the malevolent veil. With a celestial crescendo, The nexus at the heart of Ravenscroft shattered. The malevolent force recoiled as if struck by an otherworldly lightning bolt. The haunting echoes of the broken nexus resonated through the town, signaling the triumph of divine intervention over the centuries-old curse. As the shattered nexus released its grip on Ravenscroft, the town experienced a profound transformation. The malevolent shadows that had haunted the lives of the townsfolk dissipated, leaving behind an eerie calm. The once haunted church bells tolled, not with an ominous melody, but with a triumphant resonance that echoed the vanquishing of the sinister veil. The aftermath of the supernatural upheaval left Ravenscroft in a fragile state of peace. The townsfolk, scared by the malevolent force, cautiously embraced the newfound tranquility. St. Agnes Church, once a symbol of haunting dread, now stood as a testament to the resilience of faith and the enduring power of divine intervention. Reverend Blackwood, standing amidst the subdued echoes of the supernatural battle, reflected on the arduous journey. The town of Ravenscroft, once ensnared by an ancient curse, now bore the scars of a spiritual war that transcended the mortal realm. The Reverend's gaze shifted to the sacred walls of St. Agnes Church, pondering whether the fragile peace would endure or if unseen forces still lingered, awaiting an opportune moment to unleash a new chapter of malevolence. Despite the apparent victory, a lingering resonance persisted in Ravenscroft. Unseen energies, remnants of the shattered nexus, vibrated through the town. Reverend Blackwood, attuned to the spiritual currents, recognized that the fragile peace hung in the balance, susceptible to the ebb and flow of supernatural forces. As life returned to normalcy, eerie murmurs echoed through Ravenscroft's cobblestone streets. The townsfolk, haunted by memories of the malevolent force, exchanged uneasy glances. The unsettling whispers seemed to emanate from the very foundations of the town, as if the shattered nexus had left behind an indelible mark on the fabric of reality. Townsfolk began reporting sinister dreams, visions that transcended the boundaries between sleep and wakefulness. In these nocturnal landscapes, the malevolent force, though shattered, sought to claw its way back into the consciousness of the unsuspecting dreamers. Reverend Blackwood, troubled by his own unsettling dreams, sensed that the battle against the supernatural was far from over. A pervasive taint lingered in Ravenscroft, an otherworldly residue that tainted the air with a sense of foreboding. The once clear skies bore an unnatural pallor, and the church bells tolled with a mournful timbre. Reverend Blackwood, attuned to the subtle shifts in the spiritual realm, embarked on a quest to understand the nature of this lingering malevolence. Reverend Blackwood revisited the cursed relics within St. Agnes Church, sensing that their malevolent influence had not been fully quelled. The once purified artifacts emitted a subtle aura of darkness, revealing that the shattered nexus had left behind echoes of its malefic nature. The Reverend, guided by an internal compass, sought to purify the relics anew. In the hidden recesses of St. Agnes Church, Reverend Blackwood discovered a forbidden tome that chronicled the intricacies of the shattered nexus. The ancient text revealed that the malevolent force, though fractured, sought to reunite its scattered fragments to regain its former strength. The tome spoke of a ritual, a dark sacrament that could potentially mend the shattered veil. The town's clock tower, an architectural marvel that stood as a sentinel over Ravenscroft, revealed an ominous alignment of celestial bodies. The stars, forming a pattern eerily reminiscent of the shattered nexus, hinted at an otherworldly convergence. Reverend Blackwood, interpreting the celestial signs, recognized that a pivotal moment in the supernatural saga was approaching. As the celestial alignment reached its zenith, an astral convergence unfolded above Ravenscroft. Ethereal energies intertwined, creating a cosmic tapestry that mirrored the shattered nexus. The townsfolk, unaware of the celestial ballet, felt a subtle unease settle over the town as unseen forces gathered in anticipation of a spectral reckoning. Reverend Blackwood, burdened by the knowledge of the impending astral convergence, faced a moral dilemma. The forbidden tome offered a dark solution, a ritual that could potentially mend the shattered nexus, but at an unimaginable cost. The Reverend grappled with the choice between risking the town's safety or allowing the malevolent force to regain its strength unchecked. As the astral convergence reached its climax, Ravenscroft stood at the precipice of an otherworldly reckoning. The veil between the mortal realm and the supernatural forces that lurked within trembled on the verge of being mended or torn asunder. Reverend Blackwood, carrying the weight of his decision, prepared for a final confrontation with the malevolent force that sought to weave its final thread into the fabric of the town's destiny.